It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League finds us a dozen miles east of the National Mall at the home of the Commanders here in Landover, Maryland. So good to have you with us, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson here in the booth. Partner, these are a couple of teams that struggled a year ago, finished out of the playoffs. They were under 500, but that's what you love about the NFL. A new season brings renewed optimism.
Absolutely, and really, Mike, a lot of new faces at critical places. I mean, there is a lot of new pieces to the puzzle here, both coaching staff and the roster of players. They believe last year is over. They do not think there is any correlation between the squad they're planning to put on the field today and that one that we saw really go through some growing pains and struggles just a year ago.
The veteran kicker, Graham Gano, puts it on the tee. And off we go from just outside our nation's capital. And he will get cut down short, shy of the 20-yard line. The Washington offense going to make their way to the field for the first time. They are led by the former Heisman Trophy winner out of LSU, Jaden Daniels.
There's a lot to like about this young quarterback, and of course we're going to have to wait and see. Can he take advantage of this opportunity in front of him, Mike? But he has not been shy. He says, I know I can play at this level. I know that I can lead an NFL franchise, and we're going to get a shot to see it here, and I'm excited to see what he can do.
That's a gain of 19 and a very quick first down.
Great pre-snap identification by the quarterback, realizing that the blitz was coming and exactly where the soft spot in the defense would be. He's able to put that slant route right on the front shoulder pad of his receiver, leads to a real nice run after catch, and brings up first down.
And a nice gain there on first down. He takes it forward for 8 yards. Here's 2nd and 2. Yet another Alabama back in the league. This is Brian Robinson. And he'll be hauled down at about the 35-yard line.
2nd and short. Normally, this is a great time, Mike, to put the ball in the air and try to press the ball downfield. But in this case, they keep it on the ground. Has a similar effect. They pick up a good gain and a first down.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. They'll go again with Robinson. And a good job following his blockers. A gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Finding the veteran tight end, Zach Ertz. 10 yards, the gain on the pitch and catch. Good for a Commanders first down.
These crossing concepts are frequently used, Mike, throughout the entire game, all across the league. And what it does is it creates a lot of natural rubs. You run out the backside of the defense and rely heavily on the yards after the catch, and it's exactly how they're able to pick up this big gain.
Now Daniels throwing on 1st and 10. That's to the right side and incomplete.
Just seems like another case of predetermining where the quarterback is going to go with the ball. He had a lot of good route options on that last concept. I think if he just remains a little bit more patient, read the play out, let it unfold, will lead to some easier and better completions.
On 2nd down, it's Daniels. And he'll try to use that size and push forward, but it will not work. They're going to get him down behind the line.
Well, you know, Mike, if I had to guess, I'd say that's probably not what they had in mind when they called that play, but those guys on defense, it felt like they knew what was coming from the start, and they got to him in a hurry.
On third down, they'll throw with Daniels. And he will not quite get to the marker. Good job there defensively, and now decision time. What are you going to do on fourth down?
I really like the balance that they've showed so far on this drive, Mike, and what that does is it makes the defense have to defend the entire field. The run game and the pass game, everything looks the same. There's no tells, so they can't afford to just dial up certain schemes to take away a run or a pass. They've got to defend the entire playbook, and so far they've done a great job on this drive doing just that. This is a little bit of a tough spot for a play caller, Mike. Fourth down, is it close enough that I can run the ball? Is it far enough that I have to risk a pass? That took some courage to call a run play, and fortunate for them, they're able to celebrate after.
This opening drive, it has been a work of art. Now, can they put the finishing touches on? It's first and goal. They'll run with Robinson. And he'll just get up inside those big bodies up front, and he's in. Brian Robinson. Touchdown, Commanders. And they get the first points of the game. What a way to start it, Greg. You get the ball. It's what you want to do. Settle into this game on top 6-0.
Mike, how often do we have coaches tell us the importance of playing with the lead? Well, they come take the ball right away on the first drive, all the way down there and strike first. And now the rest of the way, let's see how it plays out.
Zane Gonzalez on for the point after. The kick is good. And the Commanders will take a 7-0 lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This fielded at about the 9. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Giants offense making their way out for the first time. They'll be led out by a young man who's making a name for himself, their rookie quarterback.
And after studying this quarterback, Mike, I really like the way he carries himself. He really takes accountability. Every time there's something that goes wrong, he puts it on his shoulders. And every time there's success, he's always the first one to give it to everybody else. That's the kind of leadership role you're looking for out of this position, and I think this guy's a great example of it.
They face second down and 7. They motion a receiver right. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. Oh, in trouble. Down he goes.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sit and duck for this pass rush.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's third and long. He'll drop to throw. Now, a screen set up for Tracy. And he'll be stopped short of a first down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's fourth down.
Even though they gave up that last completion, Mike, that's a really good drive there for this defense. I mean, from the beginning, on those early downs, keeping them from staying ahead of the chains, put them in a tough third down situation, and now it brings up fourth down, and looks like they're going to get off the field.
And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. The Commanders' offense ready to see the football for the second time. They lead 7-0 thanks to the touchdown on the opening drive. So try to double up here as they begin this drive first and 10. The drive will begin here with a run by Robinson. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
This is already a little better than the first time they had the ball, Mike. Remember, opening possession, 3 and out. Showing some signs of life here now. Nice pick up there by the back to pick up the first down.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Daniels. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down. Terry McLaurin, the intended target on that one. It's second down. Working out of the gun, it's Daniels. Nowhere to go. He is taken down.
This is a great reminder of why it's so important to have great offensive tackles. When you get beat so fast off the edge, the quarterback has nowhere to go in the pocket to escape, and that's what happens.
Work to do following the sack. It is third and long. They'll throw with Daniels. Now they'll set up the screen to Eckler. And that screen slow to develop, and they rally to the ball and stop him. That will be no gain on the screen.
Not the worst play call there. I actually like third down screen game, especially when you're anticipating some pressure, an over-aggressive defense who's selling out to get to the quarterback. In this case, not a lot of room to operate. They don't convert. Brings up fourth down.
A fair catch signaled, and they'll have it just outside their own 20. The Giants offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a first down. Back to throw here to begin the drive. A quick slant into the hands of Johnson.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
Now, faking the give. And that ball led him too far, maybe too wide. Out of bounds, incomplete.
This offense is doing everything they can to quiet this crowd, and even though they missed on that long attempt, at least it sets the tone that they're going to continue to attack. If they can come up with a completion on one of those downfield passes, it's going to go a long way to settling themselves into this game.
On third down, they'll run with Tracy. And he'll get this to the 35. That's good enough for the first down. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. He's got his man. That's Slayton. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield.
These curl routes, he's been running these routes since he was a young kid in Pop Warner football, and I like to call it pulling the string. You've got the defender thinking you're going downfield, and you stick that foot in the ground, work back to the quarterback, friendly to the ball, and really nice job picking up the first down.
We are through one. 7-0 is our score. And EA Sports NFL Sunday returns after this. Set to go now on first and 10. He'll look to throw. He'll look deep here for Neighbors. Marshawn Lattimore all over that. Gets a hand in there to knock it away.
There's only a handful of guys in the league who legitimately have world-class speed, and he's one of them. I mean, he's the type of weapon that you 3 or 4 times a game have to just say, okay, my guy, he's faster than your guy. We're going to send him deep and let it fly. And even though that one falls incomplete, you have to continue to sprinkle that threat in because it makes everything else in your passing game that much easier. So often when it comes to safeties, Mike, we talk about their speed and their range. But for him to be able to come up and make a tackle and be physical at the point of attack and keep this ball carrier to no gain, that's pretty impressive.
On third down, they'll set up to throw. They'll look to set up the screen here. And a good job here defensively. They did not let him get away. He's well short of the first down marker.
This is one of those cases where the offense is counting on the defensive line being over-aggressive in their pass rush, thinking that they can get the ball out of the quarterback's hand and into the back and pick up the first down on the yards after the catch. But the defense was obviously ready for it. A lot of guys running to the ball and just nowhere to go.
The Commanders offense and running back Brian Robinson on the field for their next drive. They lead it here in the second quarter, 7-0, as they begin with a 1st and 10. Gets a quick throw over to Samuel. He's close to a first down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on first down. A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. On the handoff, it's Robinson. And he'll work forward for a yard, but that's all he needed. This is going to be a first down.
This offense, they're not interested in taking the deep shot here. 2nd and short, the way they're running the ball, pound the rock, reset the downs, and just keep the drive alive.
He gets it to Samuel, left side. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Play action. Here's Daniels. Throw downfield and hauled in by Samuel. And he's down inside the 40-yard line.
This defense just gets punched in the mouth on that one, Mike, and it just seemed from up here that not everyone on defense was on the same page, and the offense was able to take advantage of it. The defense has to clean things up here in a hurry, because if they don't, they could be in for a long day.
Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. A give, and here comes Robinson. And he finds some space, tackled after a gain of 7 on first down. Second down and 3. Off the play fake, here's Daniels. Samuel has it working the middle. And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10.
I love the way the ball's been moving around to different guys this drive, Mike. I mean, it really keeps the defense guessing and off balance. And now this defense is going to have to figure out how to keep this offense out of the end zone because it's 1st and goal.
Here's a run. And he will score. Brian Robinson. Touchdown, Washington. His 2nd touchdown of this first half. What a standout performance early on in this one. That his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game.
And some backs, Mike, they just have a sense of finding the end zone and being able to finish off these runs. That's exactly what this guy has been able to do today, and we're just getting started.
Gonzalez now for the point after. He's got it. And the Commanders move out on top, 14-0. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Eric Gray to return it. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now. They get set to take over once more. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0. The score as the offense tries to regroup and get going with 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. Pass pulled in by Tracy.
All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number 1, the traditional handoffs. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection, and maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
They'll look to throw. He'll get it into the hands of Slayton. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line.
Well, the run after catch is certainly nice, and they're definitely going to take it. But watch the savviness of the route running. Certain guys just have a better feel for running these slant routes than others, and it's a nice result.
They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. Got his receiver on the in-cut. He's got it. That's his 3rd catch of this first half, and good enough for a 1st down.
Well, it goes without saying. You want to play wide receiver in the NFL, Mike. How well can you change directions? How fast can you get your body from one direction to another? And when you can cut like this guy, I'm not sure how you guard him.
They'll look to throw yet again. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up 2nd down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
Back to the air once more on 2nd down. Open man is Robinson. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down. In motion, it's Robinson. On 3rd down, they'll throw from the gun. Taken in right side by the tight end, Johnson.
Nice job here by the defense. They understood this quarterback is looking to push this ball downfield past the line to gain, and he's got no choice but to check it down short to the tight end, rally tackle, and brings up 4th down.
Here's Jamie Gillen on now, as they'll say no to the long field goal and hope to pin them deep. The Commanders' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. Their lead sits at 14-0 here in this 2nd quarter, looking to run away with this one before halftime. Now, this looks like a design run, and he'll find some space, taking it for 6 out to the 26-yard line. Two minutes to go here till halftime. We'll be back just outside the nation's capital after this. On 2nd down, it's Daniels. On the move past the 40. And they are not going to catch up to him. He will score. 74 yards. Touchdown, Washington. Now Gonzalez to add the PAT. He gets it to go, and the Commanders will stake themselves to a 21-0 lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. From a yard deep, he's going to bring it out. The Giants offense ready to get back at it. They find themselves down 3 touchdowns here, needing to flip the script in a hurry. And they'll start it here on first down. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll look deep here for Neighbors. That is caught! And it'll be taken down, but it takes them across midfield down to the 40-yard line.
Well, he certainly didn't look like a rookie on that long completion, Mike. Not only his ability to scan the field and find his favorable matchup, but he was able to hit his downfield target in the perfect spot that led to that big gain.
First down throw there is incomplete.
Well defended there. The quarterback's trying to attack this defense outside the numbers. Those really wide angle throws near the sideline sometimes can be very hard to defend, so give a lot of credit to this secondary. They were all on the same page, and the ball falls incomplete.
Back to the air again on 2nd and 10. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
So after back-to-back incompletions, it is now 3rd and 10. Blitz coming. He'll throw it. A throw on the move is caught. And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up 4th down. Here is Graham Gano to try the field goal. This is going to be a 51-yard attempt. This one off the upright. He had the distance, but it's no good. Everything's going wrong. Unable to cut into this big deficit. There's Terry McLaurin and the Commanders offense heading out for their next possession. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender at him, maybe. Look at what he's done. Whatever the defense has tried in the first half, it hasn't worked. On first down, Daniels. Back to the sideline and intercepted. Picked off by Deonte Banks. And he is going to bring this one back. A DB's dream. A pick 6 for touchdown. So they come to the line for first down and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Daniels. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete.
There was no hesitation from the quarterback. From the jump, he knew where he wanted to go with that ball, but still leads to an incompletion. They're just still not quite on the same page.
Daniels to throw on second down. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
And he's going to be taken down short of the marker, and that is going to set up An interesting fourth down decision. They'll go. It's Robinson. And he's going to have a Commander's first down. It's a gain of 12 facing fourth down. Now a timeout here by Washington. That is their second, as they'll stop it just a little bit over 30 seconds to go in this first half. Now Daniels throwing on 1st and 10. Got his man at the 6. And he's very close to a touchdown. They mark him just shy of the goal line.
And another great throw. And I'll tell you what, Mike, so far today, this certainly does not look like a rookie quarterback. I mean, he is in complete control of this offense.
They'll try to run with Robinson. And he's into the end zone yet again. Brian Robinson, touchdown Commanders. What a half he is putting together. That's his 3rd touchdown already. So his big first half continues. 3 rushing touchdowns already. Maybe have to start looking at the record book, see if he can do it. The record in a game is 6. Gonzalez now for the point after. He's got it. And the Commanders are able to extend the advantage to 28-0. Four seconds still to be played in this half as that one's away. This kick is fielded in the end zone, but no move to bring it out. It's touchback, and that ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Back to throw here to begin the drive. He'll let it fly. Deep ball for Slayton. That's going to be incomplete. They took a shot on the final play. Prayer not answered. And that is how this first half will come to an end.
Okay, Mike, thank you. More from you and Greg in a moment. But for now, welcome one and all to our EA Sports Halftime Report. It was a solid first half of football for the Alabama man, Brian Robinson. He was running with a purpose as he found the end zone 3 times in that first half. And that opposing defense had better come up with a scheme for slowing him down.
Coach, thank you. Back here on EA Sports as we count down to the kickoff of the second half. Here comes a return from the goal line. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. And that's where the offense will take over. The Giants offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this third quarter. They are in need of points in a big way as they set out on 1st and 10. This to the right side, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
Back to throw. And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds.
The best guys I've been around, Mike, they have a sense where they can see the ball, but they can feel the sideline. And that's kind of an innate sense that these guys have that allows them to concentrate and secure the catch and ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
On the give, it's Tracy. And that's going to be enough to move the chains. First down, up past the 35. Second down and 8. From out of the gun, he'll throw. That is caught. It's Robinson. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9.
Really nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself in your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
On the ground, here's Tracy. And he'll get this one across midfield. Brought down after a pickup of a half dozen. On the ground, it's right back to Tracy. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Well, there's not a whole lot of fancy going on here, Mike. This is just kind of old school, line up and run smash mouth football. It's exactly what they did, but it still ends up in a big gain, and he picks up the first down.
Here's 1st and 10. Now they'll set up to throw. That's caught downfield by Robinson. And he's in. Wandale Robinson. Touchdown, Giants. A terrific play all the way around. Finished off by the receiver, who not only made the grab, but Greg turned it up and takes it into the end zone.
And that's the tricky part, Mike, that transition from receiver to runner. And in this case, he does it flawlessly. Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then get upfield and get yourself in the end zone.
Now it's Graham Gano for the PAT. He knocks it through. And the Giants are able to cut into the deficit. So out is Gano after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. Now, here comes a return from the 9. Now, on the return, he has lost the football. And the defense has it. Special teams comes through again. We don't talk about it nearly enough, but sometimes the biggest plays of the game happen like that one. The kickoff return, fumble, recovered, and momentum swings again.
Everybody loves to see a big return, Mike, but the priority of any kick return unit, just give your offense a chance to possess the ball. And in this case, they don't do that. They turn the ball over, and now they find themselves back out there on defense.
2nd and a yard. A carry here for Tracy. Trying to find somewhere to move forward, but nothing going. Tackled for the loss of a yard.
That was just a race to the edge, and in this case, Mike, he just wasn't the winner. I mean, at this point, when the defense is out there waiting for you, it's tough for any runner in this league to even get back to the original line of scrimmage.
They'll motion their tight end, Johnson. And he's going to be brought down right on that yellow line with the official signal. He's got enough for the first down. In motion, it's Robinson. They run on the jet sweep, and this defense having nothing of that. They get him down behind the line.
I'm thinking, Mike, they might have had a little tendency on him or been tipped off pre-snap, because it seemed to me like that defense was just ready and waiting for the jet sweep. There wasn't a whole lot he could do. He takes the loss.
Now it's Tracy looking to run, and he's inside the 10, pushing forward for a gain of 5 yards. What can they do here on 3rd down and 7? He'll look to throw. And that's going to wind up uncatchable out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Marshawn Lattimore all over that. Gets a hand in there to knock it away.
The defender saw this the entire way, Mike. He actually ran the route before the receiver even got to his spot. I think they're fortunate this one didn't end up getting picked and going the other way.
Gano's kick is good. And the Giants are able to put up 3 and cut into the lead.
And when you find yourself down double digits, you don't want to make habit of settling for these field goals. It does allow them to chip away a little bit and cut into this deficit, but they've got to find a way to score touchdowns.
Here's Eckler on the return. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Commanders' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as we go through the highlights, no shortage of touchdowns today. 3 trips to the end zone in this one. The combination, the power, the speed, everything on display, and the defense has seen it all. First and 10. Off the play fake, here's Daniels. Over the middle, he's got McLaurin. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8.
That's not the type of play that's going to end up on a lot of end-of-the-season highlight reels, Mike. But listen, sometimes those little check-down crossers produce some positive plays. Stay ahead of the chains.
He'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
So after picking up some positive yardage on first down, they end up going backwards on 2nd. That sack now brings up 3rd and long, and what most of the time is a very pass-happy situation makes them very one-dimensional.
Here's a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Daniels. Taking off, he'll try to get there. He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a first down.
These are the plays that are just crushing for a defense. Here you are, you think you're about to make a big stop, force 4th down, and get the football back. But instead, you let the quarterback get loose. He picks up the first down with his legs, and now you got to defend a fresh set of downs.
On 1st and 10, here's Daniels. Now a screen going to be set up for Robinson. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8.
You see so many teams wait till 3rd down to execute their screen game, but I like in this case the play caller changes things up. He uses the screen game on 1st down, which will have an effect on this pass rush going forward. How aggressive do they want to get after the quarterback? Because they got that screenplay still in the back of their head.
Quick throw, taken in, and he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down. On the option, here's Robinson. This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
With how fast they were all over that play, you almost wonder, Mike, was there a pre-snap tell? Did they know that play was coming? Because I'll tell you, that defense was on it from the start.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. Now he'll run. And Daniels will slide to a stop. Wise move as a young quarterback. That's how you stay around and become a vet. He picked up the first down. So 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Here's Daniels. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete. Deontay Banks right there with the good coverage to knock it away.
You just can't say enough about how hard it is to play cornerback in today's modern NFL, Mike. I mean, not only are these wide receivers better than ever, but the way the rules are written, you're really out there on an island with not a lot of options.
And he's in. Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, Washington. And that touchdown probably, Greg, ends any small hopes of a comeback on the other side.
Yeah, and I think those chances, Mike, were small to begin with, but with that last score, I think this one is pretty much over.
Now Gonzalez to add the PAT. His kick is good. And the Commanders will open it up even further here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff team is out on the field. And we're back to it as the kick's away. He'll take it at the 12. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Giants offense ready to come back out for this next possession. Things not looking good. But see if they get the turnaround going here. They'll start this drive with 1st down. This will be intercepted by Marshawn Lattimore. And he is going to score! A pick-6 for the touchdown. Well, they had a big hole to climb out of, and now it is even bigger. Greg, the defense was waiting for it, feasts on it, and they get to celebrate with a pick-6.
Well, a very fitting way for this one to come to an end here, Mike. This has been a completely dominant defensive performance. This pick-6 here in the 4th quarter ends what has been a total runaway.
The extra point is good. And the Commanders add on to their already sizable lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. A short one taken at the 10. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. Right back to the air following that pick-6. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line.
You know, it's really been a one-sided game, but how often do we see in the 4th quarter the team that finds themselves down by a lot, they start to come alive? I think it's a combination of trying to end the game on a positive note, but also sometimes that defense getting a little lackadaisical.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Now a screen set up for Tracy.
It's a really good job defensively. The key is you don't want your defensive linemen to overcommit to rushing the passer, and you don't want your linebackers in secondary dropping too deep defending the pass. In this case, all 3 levels played disciplined, good football with good vision. That's why they're able to stop him for no gain.
In motion, it's Robinson. Looking to throw here on 2nd and 10. He'll look middle here and get it to Neighbors. And that'll go for a gain of 7. And it's going to set up 3rd down. They'll motion their tight end, Johnson. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
So prior to that 3rd down call, Mike, I thought they put themselves in a pretty good situation at that down and distance. They had run and pass, both at their disposal, but nice job by the defense being up to the task. Force the incomplete, brings up 4th down.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. And he will have a Giants 1st down. They'll get the conversion. It's a gain of 14.
It's no secret this day has been a rough outing all around. So at this stage of the game, really no choice but to remain aggressive and just try to find something positive on a day where there's been a lot of negative.
Back to the air one more time. They'll try to hit him with a screen. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. They'll run with Tracy. And he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not happen here. I think he's going to lose a yard.
Just feels like this has been the story of the day for this offense. Just unable to get anything going on the ground, and a big reason they find themselves trailing, and another loss of yards.
They'll come up to 3rd and 3. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Just a little bit too much juice on that one, and you just can't throw the ball out of bounds. Give your receiver a chance to go up and compete for the ball, but when you miss that far wide, he's got no shot.
The offense not coming off the field, and here's 4th down. This one incomplete. The defense up to the challenge there. They force the incompletion, and they'll take the ball over on downs. The home team's offense and Jaden Daniels ready to take over once more. And he has been in control of this offense. Want to run you through some of the action from earlier on. You've got the 2 touchdown passes, over 200 passing yards. He has been excellent all game long. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. The drive starts with a carry by Eckler. The defense all over this one. They get him behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a couple.
When you can get this level of run support out of your secondary, Mike, man, what an advantage for any defense. This defensive back clearly reads run, gets off his block, and he's able to take down the back for a loss of yards.
The motion man here is McLaurin. And here comes Robinson on a toss to the right. And nothing on that one. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
The offense is trying to test the edges of the perimeter of this defense, Mike, but the defense is just too quick to the ball. Total team defense, pursuit, 11 hats to the ball carrier. It's exactly what we saw here. Keep that gain to nothing.
Look wide. Get this one complete.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
The Commanders set to kick this one away. And he's on to punt for just the 2nd time in this game. Now a fair catch called for a position, a short field, in fact, as they start with a 1st down. Right away, they'll set up to throw. He runs with it. And he'll gain yardage and able to get down at the end of the play.
The best quarterbacks don't see the rush, they feel the rush, and that's exactly what this guy was able to do here. He's able to escape the initial pressure and immediately realizes, I got some space out in front of me. Picks up a solid gain here on first down.
They'll look to throw. This one is caught by Robinson. Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. They'll try to set up the screen here. It'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
Just a little slow developing on that screenplay there. It was pretty obvious to the entire defense exactly what was going on. Nobody was thinking pass. Nobody was getting back into their drops, and just nowhere for that back to go.
Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be 3rd down.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Two minutes remain in the 4th quarter. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. They'll look to throw again. He's got his man, that's Slayton. And he's close to another 1st down as he's brought down just shy of the marker. They'll look to throw yet again. And a good effort there defensively. It's knocked away and incomplete.
I think he just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
He's got his man complete to Johnson.
When you decide to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, typically, Mike, what you're doing is you start from the top down. If you have the big shot downfield, take it. If not, the quarterback works through his progression, finds the medium target, picks up a 1st down.
They can still get a 1st down at the 1. 1st and 10, they go from the 11. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. Back to throw. And he's going to slide to a stop and avoid the contact. But since he started there, he's still shy of the 1st down.
Well, give him some credit. Initially, that looked like it was going to be a sack. He's able to escape the pressure and get away, picks up a little bit of yardage, but at least he avoids taking that shot.
They'll try and throw for it on 3rd and 1. That is incomplete. And here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's 4th down.
That's one he'd love to have back. An opportunity to score 6 was right there for the taking. Just wasn't quite meant to be.
Now they'll set up to throw. That is incomplete. They took a chance throwing it on 4th and short, but not to be, and they'll turn it over on downs. And a strong first down run, a pickup of 9, setting up second and short. So it's a win here for the Commanders. And they made it look easy. Their offense playing at about as high a level as they can play. Defense wasn't too shabby either. And they're able to get the victory here by a rout in grand style. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. The Commanders are winners, as we say so long from just outside our nation's capital.